Hello and welcome to Sunday. It's pretty late at night and, well, not much got done today. So that kind of leads me into the perfect talking point about something. I think I mentioned this yesterday, but I've kind of been obsessed with ephemerality. Now, that's a big word. It's a fun word. I love the word ephemeral. But let's break it down. Ephemerality is the concept of things being in transit or transitory, existing only briefly. It's the thought that something can only exist for a short amount of time. And I've just been obsessing over the concept of it recently. How things can only exist as memory. Now, there's plenty of things that can't exist as memory. Music, for example, can't really exist as memory because, there's records of it. I have a copy of what's the most popular. Sure, Arctic Monkeys, super popular band, and their music will continue to exist forever. But the thing about it is that the concept of ephemerality, you'll never be able to experience what it's like to listen to your favorite song for the first time. You'll never really have that chance to live that life. Sure, you can have your favorite food every now and then, but taste exists as a memory. You only experience it very briefly during a meal. Sure, you can, just go to McDonald's, get a Big Mac one day, think, that was pretty good, I'll go back and get another one, but that can only exist for such a short amount of time, and it's stored as memory. Things like being able to experience a movie or something for the first time only exists as memory. Scents only exist as a memory for very briefly. Experiences exist for only such a short time, and they only exist in your memories. And I've been just obsessing over this concept for the past couple of days. So much so, in fact, that I kind of went off the rails about it, but somebody who loves to archive things, who loves to have a record of things, who does this for the past 3 years, there'll always be a record of this, but I'm not going to remember what exactly happened today. Next week. Sure, I did laundry, but will I remember what I ate today? Probably not. Will I remember, what the weather was like? Well, it did snow today, so that's something, but, it's very insignificant. And while there is some kind of record of it, and, I have a tetra that I'll be writing some stuff down in, I will only be experiencing today in the moment. It's very fleeting. And there's beauty in that, kind of. While things can only exist as a memory, sometimes they're better off existing as a memory. For the better part of 2 years, probably going on 5 at this point, I've been trying to hunt down a blog that heavily inspired one that I created very recently that, just was kind of wiped off from the face of the internet. The author of the blog just got rid of it, all traces of it, and I couldn't find any of it. And I was obsessed with this one post about this guy writing. He's like, me and my buddy went out and bought some mason jars. And for some reason that has been in my head for years on end. And finally this past couple of days I stumbled upon it. After going through so much of the archives. I went to one archive page that had an archived record of that site existing, and then I followed through links, and I eventually found it. The thing is, only one page of that blog was archived, and it wasn't the page I wanted. But it's beautiful. It's a moment in time where this person was just hanging out with their friends at a bar, took some pictures, sang karaoke that day, went to a Japanese restaurant, enjoyed some food, and that was it. And it was just, a couple images of him experiencing this, and it's so beautiful that now that there is, there's a photographic record of it, but and a written record of it, but that's pretty much gone. Those photographs and words have kind of been lost to, the internet, and while I can still find them, it's just they're not really there. They're pretty much inaccessible. And the one post that I really wanted to find is absolutely gone. Sure, I can reach out to the author and be like, hey, do you still have this? Because I would love to see it. But that's beside me. I might actually ask him about it because I've just been obsessing over it. But I think there was this one thing that I talked about in my most recent post on my music blog. It was about the song Sunburn by Drew Liu, and I'm pulling it up right now. It's a very, very beautiful song. It's like, this might be the impetus of like me thinking all about this, but it's just like it might be for the best because this like, here, I'll just read the summary. After spending 2 weeks at summer camp, our young boy reminisces over the memory he shared with his new friends and his first kiss. While being bathed in the light of a sunset, he rushes over to the next platform to catch a train, saying goodbye to everyone and noticing that the one important person isn't there. He's disappointed in that he neglected to get any contact information from anyone. However, after taking a seat on the train, he stops and realizes that it might be the best, as this way the memory gets preserved. That's just beautiful. Like, being able to just have an experience, and this beautiful experience that you have is just only preserved in your memories. Sure, there can be photos and whatnot, but like, time is fleeting, and it's just this one piece of history that you're carrying with you only exists up here. And sure, you can relay that experience, but you'll never be able to have that experience once more. And that's kind of how I felt about this, like, this single blog post. It's just, I'll never be able to see that again, that post. But it might be for the best, because now that I know it's gone, I know that this silly post about this guy and his friend buying mason jars is just stuck in my head as one of the greatest, like, articles that I'll ever read. And like, it's just weird. Like, I've just been obsessing over this concept for the past however long, couple of days now, and I am just like, it's against my nature to like let things go as a memory. Like, I love archiving stuff so it's available for everyone to see and experience years and years down the line. I archive web pages. I'll like write articles of wiki pages so that people will have a written record, or like be able to experience something It's why I'm so passionate about game preservation. It's why I'm so passionate about music and everything. It's just these experiences that were meant to be shared need to be preserved so other people can have just one fleeting moment of memory to see what it was like at a moment in time. And yet, the whole you had to be there experience was just something else, right? It's like you go to a concert with friends, that's preserved in your memories. Like, that experience, that camaraderie, that just. And sure, you can watch videos online, but it's not the same. Just going out watching a movie in a theater will never be the same as just like, oh, I can watch this at home or whatever. Or just being with somebody for a day. Sure, you can repeat that experience, but the weather will never be the same. You can't really replicate the same things that you're doing. It's hard, but there's beauty in that, and I have just not stopped thinking about this. And I probably won't for a little bit until I find the next thing to obsess over. But yeah, that's been my thought process for the past couple days, and I will not get over this concept. It's funky, it's fun, and it's making me realize that, hey, I can just experience things as they are, or I can record them, and either way, I feel like I'm doing what's best in the moment. Sometimes I don't record my day like me going to the store. It's just like, I don't really find anything significant in that, but like if something feels significant, at least it's stored here, and worst case, maybe it's stored here, both for you to see and for me to re-experience. I'm gonna just keep rambling on about this. That's where I'm gonna call it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, later.